man, TP or Tito, and I'm just a young entrepreneur. Some people might call me that. Some people might call me a refined gangbanger. Some people might call me a rapper. You know, just depends on what part of the earth you met me on. With my childhood, I would say, I faced the same adversity that most black youth face. You know, as far as not having all the things you might need to be successful. I was 5. My granddad died when I was 4, and my mama had her own type of thing going on. So it was my auntie that basically took me in. She taught me. I watched her and I learned what it took to survive in the world with very little. So she taught me a lot about that, and she taught me how to protect myself. So she taught me how to do that. She taught me how to survive in any situation, and taught me how to finesse. She the finesse queen. With my mama, it was cool. My mama just got she got a mental condition where I was basically on my own. She wouldn't correct me. She wouldn't do this. She'll just chill. She just laid back. She ain't gonna complain about nothing. She ain't gonna argue about nothing. She ain't gonna tell me that this wrong or that wrong. Where she couldn't put a lot of time into helping me and my sister with the growing, what you need as a growing child. It's cool. But she was like a friend more so than a authoritarian figure. Man, we moved a whole lot. Like I can't even really explain where I grew up in. I say from born in Klondike, that was all the way to maybe 4 years old. Then we went to Fraser, went to Denver, then mostly the North Memphis though. Went to Denver, then we went to South Memphis. When South Memphis sprinkled in all through there. And I moved with my auntie, and that's when we moved to the county. So I stayed in the county a couple years, then we moved back to the projects. We went to Whitehaven, and then we went to East Memphis for 2 years, and then we went to Raleigh. I thought I was gonna be a doctor, a pediatrician actually. I thought I was gonna be a pediatrician. That's what I wanted to be. I don't think I had enough examples of a pediatrician or a doctor or a lawyer. I don't think I had enough examples. The examples that I had were different. And you know how they say you are what you around. You strive to be what you see. So that's kind of what happened to me. I saw doctor. I saw the Cosby Show. Yeah, I saw a lawyer and doctor then, but other than that, I didn't get to see it in my community. So it was like one of those things where, yeah, it wasn't real to me. Being a doctor or a lawyer wasn't real to me. I didn't know the steps to take from seeing somebody else take them. I just knew what they said. You gotta do this. You gotta do that. You gotta do that. And I was coming up in a household where money was tight. But at first, I was a hard worker anyway, so I always kept a job. But I kept a hustle too. So I was working a job and selling dope. That way, with the job, I kept the streets and separated from my house. So I worked the job. So when I had money, my auntie wouldn't ask me, how'd you get some money? And I wanted to do more for her or for the house, but I couldn't because she was gonna say, how did you get this money? Where did this money come from? So it was only certain things I could do and still be good. So she wouldn't be suspicious about where I was getting money from. I've never been a job worker. Like the whole time, anytime I ever had a job, I feel like that shit was beneath me. Not saying that people that work a job they stooping to a level beneath them, but I'm just saying personally for me, I feel like I was great. I feel like I could do better things. I feel like I was supposed to be successful. I feel like I was supposed to have money. I wasn't supposed to have to worry about it. I just didn't have the proper training or avenues. I wasn't exposed to different avenues on how to get it. So I just went with what I felt was easier for me and what I see every day, and that was taking it or trapping. I was good at selling dope. You know, I was good at getting up. I was good at hustling, staying up the longest, getting up the earliest. I was good at that. But that shit was like being a doctor. Like the hours was long as fuck, and you couldn't go out of town. You couldn't enjoy yourself without people calling you. Right. I got tired of it. And my cousin, he was already robbing. You know, like he wasn't no trapper at all. So he was robbing, and he ended up catching a charge. So he caught his charge, and he lost everything. He got out on bond or whatever, and he had to pay his lawyer. So he was like, man, cause I was robbing before, but it wasn't planned out shit.
Same old thing.
Yeah, cuz fucked up, man. I know you don't do this shit no more, nigga. Let me eat your help, man. You know what I'm saying? I got in the town, nigga. I got this lick, and I wanna know if you down with it.
But say no more, cuz. If that's what you need, and you need me, I'm there with you, cuz. I don't give a fuck.
So that's how I started running up in shit back to back. I did it to help. I did it first to help him pay for his lawyer. And then once he got his lawyer paid, I was like, shit, this shit easier than selling dope. This shit easier than school. This the easiest shit I ever done in my life. All you had to do was have the nerve to jump over the counter. That's it. With the pistol. That's all you had to do. You had to have nerves of steel. And it led up to prison, and I feel like that was the only way to sit me down and allow me to think. Because if you ask me, I felt like I was doing everything right. I didn't feel like I was doing nothing wrong. It's their turn to have the hard route, because we had the hard route. And
Who it at? That the Taliban soldiers. Who it at? Nigga, what? Who it at? That the Taliban soldiers.
Till we was robbing, and my nigga BG said Taliban up, and I was like, what the fuck? And then it was Taliban up came from, you know, wrapping the cloth around your face like the Taliban, you know. So that's when I first realized what it was, because when they was robbing her, spot robbing and stuff, see, I wasn't with it. I wasn't with it because I got a good ass heart, and I didn't want to rob individuals. You know, I felt better robbing insured entities, businesses. You know, but some of my niggas though, they savage. They don't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? We once I learned how businesses had insurance and they was gonna get the money back, and I didn't have to take from my people or people in my neighborhood. I didn't have to do that. Shit, I was sold on it. Like I wasn't concerned with robbing individuals. I wanted to rob the people that had plenty of money and had insurance, not the people that didn't know how they was gonna recover or how they was gonna pay their bills after we took something from them. So my homeboys and them, they came up with the Taliban thing, and you know, by us being you know what I'm saying, A1 day one, I just fell on in with them. I got too comfortable. I got too greedy too. I got too comfortable because I feel like I could do it whether I planned it out or not, whether my plan went all the way as planned or not. And every time before we hit the lick, I would drive the escape route. I would drive the way we gonna come. I would see all the streets, how we gonna do it, and I had picked the street, I had picked the house when we was gonna get done, when we was gonna run back to the car to, and when we was gonna get away. But somebody came home right in front of the house where we was parked at. So when they came home, that shit fucked up the plan. But I had my niggas with me, and I was already good, but I wanted them to eat. I was like, man, this shit easy, bro. Y'all gonna see, cause I had two people with me that hadn't been at all. They had never been. Like I had been doing this shit, and they was fucked up at the moment, and they was like, man, I need some quick money right quick. So I was like, all right, cool, man, we can go on ahead and do this. So I had money in my pocket then at the time. I had been doing it for a couple months, but I wanted to make sure they was straight. So I was trying to show them the way to eat as if I was teaching them something that was key in life, you know. So I feel like I had to do that. And when the people came home, they was like, damn, so we ain't gonna be able to do it. And I was like, no, we gonna still do it. So I improvised and I picked another spot to park the car for the getaway route. Come to find out, it was a fucking dead end. If I would have stuck to my plans and not when the people came home, if I wouldn't have still tried to continue instead of going back to the drawing board, mapping out our escape route or whatever, or waiting till another day, we would have never went to jail. But yeah, we ran up in the thing. Shit went all crazy. People started running and shit, run out the back doors and all that type of shit, and robbed some people that was standing there because we don't even usually do that. But shit just went so crazy, motherfuckers just had to start laying everybody down. And when we left, we went down the street that we parked on, and then we wasted probably a minute going down to the end of the street, and it was a dead end. So by the time we came back out, the police was coming the other way, and when we pulled out, they got behind us. So not having the route, not getting sloppy, getting too comfortable. I feel like I could do it even without a plan, and that was my downfall. Being too greedy, showing too much love, and trying to make sure that everybody ate, and thinking I was just too smart. That's how nigga got jammed up. When I first got there, I was young as hell. I was 18, 19. So I was like, damn, this shit real. Like shit, I ain't never got caught before doing nothing, and they just gonna lock a nigga ass up in here. And shit, that was the case. You know, shit, when it's a Class B felony, you ain't gotta been done shit ever in your life and got caught. But you get caught with this Class B, and your ass can expect to do some time. So when I got there, like I previously mentioned, my childhood, my upbringing, I didn't really have a lot of people around me anyway. I didn't have a lot of people to talk to. I didn't have a lot of family in my ear telling me to do good or count on me, or, you know, I didn't have a lot of people that had faith in me anyway. So when I went to jail, it was the same. It didn't change to me. Like, I didn't have nobody coming to my court dates, or nobody coming to see me. It was just like the streets. Like, a motherfucker wasn't taking time out for me anyway. So I was one of them people that was jailing without stress, because I was always a loner. I always did the shit by myself, and I know how to take pain. That's just one of my skills. Like, I know how to say, fuck it, I can't change it. It is what it is. Just keep pushing. Either I can die or I can keep going. And of course, I always chose to keep going. But it was hard days, just not knowing if I was gonna get life, if they were gonna let me go, if I was gonna beat the charges. That was the hardest part. But as far as being in there, I carry myself the same way I always carry myself on the streets. I stayed to myself. I respected everybody, and I just stayed with what was real to me. But as far as dominoes, cards, all type of games, I didn't play none of that shit when I was in jail. I didn't get on the phone till I got a cell phone. I didn't call home on the holidays. That shit make you weak when you feel like you gotta be connected to somebody that's free, and you talking to them and they happy, they living their life, and you in a fucking box. That's like torturing yourself. So I was like, fuck them, they living their life, I'm living my life, I'm gelling, this is my life. So I didn't waste time trying to analyze other people's lives and what they was doing and how good they was doing and all that type of shit. I just looked at how I was doing and how I was gonna survive, and making sure when I got out, I didn't need nobody ever again. Yeah, my wife, she was my girlfriend then. She was there 3.5 out of the 4 years probably. She was there like 3.5 out of the 4 years. Yep. And I had a cousin, Courtney. He came down there a couple times. My first cousin, he always fucked with me. And shit, my other person I could have counted on, shit, he was my charge partner. So shit, Angelo was in the motherfucker with me. So when shit else there wasn't nobody else I could count on. My moment of enlightenment was when I was out. I felt like I needed so much money to be happy and to be successful and to live. I felt like I needed money to live. But when I went to jail, I didn't have no money. I didn't have no clothes. I didn't have nothing flashy. I didn't have no possessions, and I was still living. And that was a major key for me. You know, when I was trying to get all this money, feeling like they made life better, and I go to jail with no money, and I was still living. And when I was in that situation, I never prayed for money. I never prayed for financial blessings in abundance. I prayed for freedom. That was the only thing that I wanted. I wanted freedom more than a woman. I wanted freedom more than money. I wanted freedom more than a Ferrari, a Lamborghini. I wanted freedom more than all this shit. So, like when I say when I was in jail, I didn't do drugs or nothing. Like I never did that shit. Some people in jail, they weed, pills, everything on the streets is in jail. They use that to cope. But I didn't want no crutch. That was the hardest time of my life, but I didn't want no crutch. I wanted to feel all that shit. I wanted to remember it. I wanted that shit to be embedded in my mind, in my soul. That feeling of hopelessness. Nobody to help me. Not knowing where my next dollar coming from. Not knowing if somebody worried about me. Not knowing if they said fuck me. I remembered that shit. I held on to that shit. I wanted to feel every second of it. I didn't want to play no games. I just wrote music. I wrote music to help me on the hard days. And other than that, battle raps. When I was in jail, I used to rap. Battle rap people in jail. But other than that, man, I just learned that I needed way less to survive than I thought. The shit that I was sacrificing my freedom and life for, I didn't even need it. And then in jail, it was so pitiful. A nigga sweep the whole goddamn gym floor for an extra tray of food, or just to get out of the cell. You will mop this, you will do that, you will clean this, you will whatever they ask you to do, just to get a moment of freedom. You would do that. And I was cutting her for freedom. You know, I cut her in the gym just so I can get out of the cells and shit. So when I did that, and then I was cutting her for soup and chips, you know, because I didn't have people put money on my book. So I learned how to cut her, and that was my hustle in there, cutting her. And when I started doing that, I was like, damn, all this time I've been thinking I need so much money, and I've been thinking that robbing and selling dope is the only way to get it. And I could have been cutting her the whole time. I could have been cleaning house. I could have been doing something the whole time. Yeah, I wouldn't have made a lot of money quickly, but I gave all that fast money back sitting in jail. Lawyer, bond, and commissary, and being there, trying to have phone calls. Like, I gave all that shit back. And then people coming to see me, the money that they had to spend, time off their job, just coming to see me and all that type of shit. I wasted a lot more money than I made in the streets by sitting in jail all them years. When I got out, my girlfriend, she wanted to buy me some clothes or something. She was like, what you need? I said, I don't need nothing. Just buy me some clippers. And she looked, she's like, you sure you want me to buy you some clippers? You don't want no clothes or nothing like that. I'm like, nah, I'm good. Buy me some clippers, because if you buy me some clippers, I know what to do with this. I did this in jail. I'm finna do the same thing I did in jail. I'm finna do it on the streets, and it's gonna work. And she bought me the clippers. We were staying in the projects. All I had to do was call one of my kinfolks over there, cut their hair on the porch, and let everybody see it. Everybody walking through the hood, they see me cutting her. They like, oh shit, you cut her? I see the little kids. I'm doing designs and stuff. I said, tell your mom I'm cutting her $10. So you know, after maybe 2 or 3 weeks, I was making a couple $100 a week cutting her. You know, without a job, I was cutting her, and I got a job at Debo's Hot Wings. Them folks fuck with me. Like, when I was in jail, they used to help me. They used to send me wings and shit for Thanksgiving to the prison. They had like a little program where you can, with good behavior, you get to get Thanksgiving dinner from your folks and stuff. So they used to bring me hot wings and stuff, David Boyd, Tisha Boyd, Bobby Dandridge. You know, they used to mess with me tough. And even to this day, you know, they still cool people. They fuck with me. But man, I used that little job I had, and I was cutting her, and within a month, I was able to tell her to quit her job, and I was handling all the bills within a month of being out of prison. because prison taught me what to do. It taught me how to budget and everything. So I was an expert at budgeting, and I was an expert at making something out of nothing, all from prison. And I showed her that. She was worried about bills when I got out, and I was like, man, fuck you worry about bills for? It's way bigger things in life than bills. You fall off, you get back up. Simple as that. But you just strive. So I ended up getting me another job at this little wood shop or something. I was cutting wood and shit. It's the hardest job I ever had in my fucking life. But see, I was a convicted felon, so I feel like I had to take this shit. Like I would not go to funerals. I would not go to family events. I would do anything I needed to do to keep my employment. And that was like top priority for me, was making sure that I was able to pay bills and really be a productive citizen in society. So that job that I put so much effort and time into, they laid me off. You know what I'm saying? So all the funerals and shit I missed, all the family events and shit I missed, it didn't count for nothing. So at that point, I learned about school. I thought that I couldn't go to school because I was a convicted felon. I thought I couldn't get grants and stuff, but I was still able to get grants and shit like that. So I enrolled in school. And when I did the paperwork, they was like, you gonna get a check for $4,000 or $5,000, and that was supposed to last me. That was like in a 4-month span. So me being a numbers person, I thought, and I was like, damn, I was just working at this fucking job 8 hours a day for $8 an hour. I was making like $200 and some a week. That's a fucking $1,000 a month. So I was like, damn, I could have just went to school for 2 hours out the day, 3 days a week, and I could make the same money that I would have been making, that I was making at a job, busting my ass and sweating all fucking day. So I ended up getting an athletic scholarship, running track, because even though I had did all the years in jail, man, the niggas in jail is in shape. So I was in that motherfucker running, playing basketball, doing this and doing that. So I was in the same shape when I went. I was 19 when I got out. I was 23, 24. So I was the oldest athlete on the university track team, but you couldn't tell because, you know, I kept my body up and stuff like that. So they had tryouts, and I just went and tried out, and shit, they gave me a scholarship on the spot. And so I was getting more money. I was probably getting an $8,000 check every semester. So shit, some people work to make $20,000 a year. So I was making $20,000 a year just by going to school. And I was able to pay all my bills. I was able to buy furniture. I was able to get ahead by thinking. So I'm gonna tell you another thing I was doing. I was getting school check. So I told my girlfriend, I said, shit, if I'm getting $4,000, well, I was getting 5 or 8 when I got the scholarship. I was like, I'm getting this, and so you can go, and we can get it twice. So we looking at maybe I'm getting 8, she getting 4, so we looking at $12,000. Might get off for the summer. August come back, you get another $12,000 to $16,000 or something like that. So I was counting on that. I was cutting her, and I was doing that. Man, we were staying in Cordova off of that. Just using your mind. You know, all I had to do was do my homework and stay in school, and I knew my bills was gonna be paid. And one of my partners put a status on Facebook one day. He was like, man, who want to get a job making $15 an hour? And I was like, man, I don't want no fucking job. But he said $15. I'm gonna go and see what's up. So I ended up getting the job. I worked at that job, and I had a cousin named Felicia. She was an entrepreneur. She once had a staffing company, and she had got into taxes. So when I got out of jail, she saw me at Walmart, and when she didn't see me, I saw her. And then my wife, which was my girlfriend at the time, I said, damn, that's my cousin right there. And I kept walking. And she was like, damn, that's how you do? And I said, yeah, shit, man, there ain't never been nothing substantial to me in my life. Shit, that's dead on that. I've been in jail. Everybody come check on me, so I have no urge to speak to nobody. And she was like, you don't need to be like that. You need to say something to your cousin. So I turned my stupid ass around, and I was like, hey, Felicia. And she was like, hey, and I was like, this is Mika, blah, blah, blah. And they got cool, exchanged numbers. She invited us to church. We up in church clapping and shit. And, all that good shit. And she was like, I got a tax company. I got a tax company. Y'all should come and check it out. Y'all will be good in it. So I was like, yeah, we do know a lot of people that might work. So my wife went in and learned something, and I learned something. Maybe it was me that went first. So she started doing taxes there. And I told her, I said, everybody you get that's your person, you write them down so that we can know what's our worth. What do we bring to the table? And we did that for a few years, and eventually we decided to get our own thing. Maybe after 3 or 4 years, we decided to get our own thing. So I took that money and put it to the side, and I had a school check, and I had a job check too. I had worked overtime, and I ended up buying a car off Craigslist. And the car I bought off Craigslist had a lot of problems or whatever. So the dude who I bought it from gave me somebody else's number, and he was like, hey, he can help you sort out your title situation and get your title straight. So I called that guy. That guy ended up owning a car lot. So I met that guy. When I met up with him, he was like, hey, you sell cars? And I was like, yeah. At the time, I really wasn't selling cars, but I feel like he was trying to talk business. So, I was trying to see how I can appeal to him to see what the business was. So he told me about he had a dealership, and he can give me my dealer license where I can buy and sell cars. So I had maybe $6,000, and I spent all my money on cars. I didn't know how I was gonna make my money back. And my wife was behind me. She was like, "Cool, go ahead, do it. We're gonna do it. That's cool. Whatever I had a plan to do, she's always behind it." And I think that's part of the reason why. That's the main reason why we're successful now and able to move as we do in life, because she supported me and she let me lead. She let me feel like I was running shit, and I feel like I owed her to be successful because she gave me that power and that authority. So I feel like I had to be successful. And so back to the situation, the guy gave me the dealer license, and I was working my little job. And so when I was filling out the application, he asked about a record. When I was in jail, they had a class, a fatherhood class, and they taught me when I fill out an application and they ask about my criminal background, I say I leave it blank, or I say we'll discuss in person. So as I was sitting in that office for my interview, I was looking all around the room trying to find distractions, a way for me to get into this job, a way to get hired. So I seen pictures, I talked about the pictures, I seen phrases on the wall, I talked about that, poems, I talked about that, I see tools, I asked him what was that, because of my criminal history. And he said, at this point, I think you got the job, I like you, and I want to bring you on board. So maybe a day or two went by, he called me, and he was like, Tito, you forgot to answer the question I forgot to ask you about it when we were in the interview, because we started talking about so many different things. And I hung up, and then my wife was like, why you hang up? I was like, shit, it's over with. I said, that nigga finna ask me about my goddamn criminal history. And she said, you don't know, you need to just see what he gonna say, So I called back, and I told him I lost my signal or whatever. And he was like, yeah. He asked me about the question, and then I said, yeah, I got something on my record, but it's not nothing major. I have to come in and talk to you and tell you about it. So he was like, okay, yeah, just when you get time, just come on in and sign the consent for us to check your background. So I went on in to the job, and I told him the story, top to bottom, how it happened, and how my mind changed, and the type of person I was. And he was like, normally we don't hire felons, but from talking to you, I just genuinely like you as a person. Like you got something special about you. And they try to work me a little harder. They try to see if they can break me or whatever, because he do this. And they would say, Tito just on his phone every time we see him. Whole time I don't see them till lunchtime. So of course I'm not talking to you crusty motherfuckers. The boss started, Tito, you're here, but you're not here. We don't have any complaints about your work, but it just seems like you're just here to be here, like it's just a job. And I was thinking to myself, you goddamn right, it's a fucking job, ain't that what it is? You know what I'm saying? Is it something else? Is this a stairway to heaven or what? You know, is it a job or is it more? You know what I'm saying? If it's more, then give me more money for this shit. And he just was saying that he wanted me to commit all of my energy to the job. And that shit was mind-boggling to me because in our handbook, nobody was doing it. Only the white people was. So when I learned about this, I told my other partner that I went to school with, the one that told me to get the job, I said, bro, let's go and go to school. And once I went to school, it was cool. And when he went to school, it became a problem because they were like, we need y'all here. We got things going on. We need all hands on deck and all that type of shit. And at that point, I could see what was going on. I said, you know what? I'll drop out. I'll withdraw from school. Y'all just let him finish. And they actually agreed to that shit. Like, they felt like I was a bigger threat. You know, he just came to me again. Tito, no disrespect to the other guys that work here, but this is it for them. They're not going to go any farther than this. They're not like you. He said that you can do great things. Time, if you want to find you another job or something, if you want to continue with your cars or whatever you want to do. And he said, in the future, you're going to thank me for this. You're going to thank me. But he was trying to either shake me up or to make me jump to be a good old boy, or, you know, just give me a heads up that I probably was destined for greater things. And he was right. You know, at the time I was mad because I was like, damn, motherfucker saying all this bullshit. But he was actually right. Took my radio off, took my shirt off, and put it on the desk. And I told him I appreciate this opportunity, but I came to a point where it's time for me to part ways with you guys. And he just froze up, eyes got big, and he just said, okay. And from that point on, I've never been broke again. The best information or the best thing I can tell you is your score on a test can never be the deciding factor on how successful you will be in life, how many people you will impact, how many lives you will change, or your level of greatness. It's not determined by a number. Intelligence is not determined by how many questions you got right. Intelligence is determined by the moves you make when the answers was not in the book. That's intelligence. Intelligence is when you know that you're destined for greater, no matter what the black and white paper say, no matter what the convictions say, no matter what the court say, no matter what the judge say, no matter what your peers say, no matter what society says. That's when you are destined for greatness.